Monday warrior, mean stride. Today's Tom Sawyer, mean pride. Though his mind is not for rent, don't put him down as arrogant. His reserve a quiet defense, riding out the day's events. The river, what you say about his company is what you say about society. Catch the mist, catch the myth, catch the mystery, catch the drift. The world is love and life are deep. Maybe as the skies are wide. Today's Tom Sawyer, he gets high on you. When the space he invades, he gets by on you.
Fucking excellent, Adam. Fucking excellent. Welcome, everybody. Happy Wednesday. That just made my Wednesday. That was fucking fantastic. And just as an FYI for everybody there, that was actually my first time listening to it, along with you guys, so that was awesome.
Killed it, as usual.
My dumbass was not paying attention to our group chat. For those of you who don't know, I said, what song are we going to play this week? They said the fucking new one. Duh. Dumbass.
Fail.
That was fantastic, though, huh? Hope everybody's having a fantastic Wednesday. That just made my day. That was awesome. What's everybody up to this week?
Mixing, motherfuckers.
Nothing wrong with that.
Working
Right.
on skulls.
Keeping busy, that's what that is. Hey, who do we got out there so far? Erwin's out there. I see Friction's in the house. Wambatsky, Jerry, Lightbearer, Vega's out there. Ronnie, Volka, Lightbearer, Putt's in the house. Oh, there's a meter out there. Shit, everybody's rolling in. Yes,
Who
fuck
cares?
you, YouTube. I'm right there with you, Friction.
Yes. YouTube has been eating a large bag of dicks lately.
Meter, can you drop the link to the song in chat?
I can.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
For all of you wonderful folks who would like that,
Yeah, anybody who missed the very beginning of the show, you can.
there you go.
And
The link in
don't
chat is for it.
worry if you missed it in the beginning. I'm going to play it at the end again, too. All new hits get twice in a row.
That's right.
Guess let's get right into it here. Starting, anybody want to guess why I named this week's show the way it is?
Because everybody should have been on the phone the phone and emails all fucking week.
We're close.
We're close.
We're close, yeah. Very close. In fact, the reason why I named the show the way I did this week is because it seems as though I keep seeing a lot of things being passed around on social media. I don't post stuff on social media, but I do look at everything. And I see everybody's posting things, but I don't see any actions being had. And it's not that I'm not seeing... It's not that the actions aren't taking place, it's just I'm not seeing them. Before I was seeing a lot of, hey, this is me on the phone, or hey, this is a copy of the letter that I'm saying. No, I'm not telling you have to do that. But it does show that we're doing something. Unfortunately, I'm one of those people, I don't post shit to social media, because to be honest, I think it's a waste of my fucking time. I would rather spend time with my 4-year-old than be fucking around posting things to social media, especially when he's home and I am. But anyhow, whose responsibility is it? Is it everyone's responsibility to post what they're doing to social media? No, absolutely fucking not. However, it is your responsibility to go ahead and advocate and educate and fight when you can fight. Um, Look at for example, prime example today. I saw a post from Thesis was at the hearing in Minnesota, right in Minneapolis, there downtown, doing work, speaking his piece, doing what he needed to do. It's the right thing to do. There's stuff coming down the pipe here for New Jersey again, trying to fuck them over. So if you live in New Jersey or you just feel giddy, call New Jersey. You don't have to live in New Jersey to tell them fuck you. I mean, to be quite honest, nothing against people from New Jersey, but I get a lot of fuck yous from people from New Jersey a lot. So, fuck them too, including their people who are trying to fuck them out of their vaping. But there's a lot of stuff going on out there. So, whose responsibility is it for us to fight this stuff? Each and every one of us. That's it. It's not necessarily a thing that you have to post about, like I said. It is nice though to show that you're supporting it just as everyone else is, but it's not a mandatory thing. So when I brought that up about social media, that's for me to tell you, you know what? Don't waste your time with social media posting that shit when you could be using that time to advocate in some way. If you have time to post to social media about it, you could probably do something else. You probably could have sent an email or made another phone call at that point. It's not necessary to put what you're doing out there as far as advocacy is related out in social media. However, I do think it is a good idea to post out there what you've seen, whether it's from emails from CASA or things like that. So in case somebody isn't connected to those sites, they see them. That's a fantastic idea, but you don't have to post what you're doing. That is not your responsibility. So even though I see it out there, it's fantastic when people show what they're doing. It's not a necessary thing. The necessary thing is showing up and actually doing your part. It's writing a letter. It's calling your local representatives. It's going and sitting in a crowd with a whole bunch of people and fucking advocating for it when you know that we're small in numbers in some areas, especially if you live in a small town. So, the thing, just all I'm saying here is it's our responsibility to go and fight these types of things. Make sure you're fighting. That's all.
Yeah.
But it's not a necessity, like I said, to post social media about exactly what you're doing. Don't get me wrong. It's awesome when you see the big rallies and stuff like that. That's fantastic to see. There's tons of people in those. So, yeah, you got some time because you're not going to be spending your time doing a lot of talking or anything like that when you're at a big rally. You're there for support at that point, unless you choose to speak. And then at that point, don't bother posting. Worry about what you're going to be talking about. But yeah, so whose responsibility is it? It's mine. It's yours. It's everybody up here's. Why? Because if we don't, those motherfuckers behind us that are still smoking the stinkies, they're going to end up smoking the stinkies and in one of those cheap wooden boxes with all the nails that they've been continuing to put into their body.
Unfortunately.
Responsibility, it's on us. If we don't, no one else is going to.
That's right.
Because it sure as fuck ain't going to be that soccer mom down the street who's sneaking vodka and cranberry juice into her kid's soccer game in a water
True
bottle.
enough. While she's downing Xanaxes.
Oh yeah, or whatever other sort of painkiller she can get her hands on.
Yeah.
But she's fine because she's not vaping.
Yeah.
Fucking bitch. All right. Now that that's out of my system.
Yeah. And I mean, if you're not a member of CASA, like, I don't know what you're doing at this point,
Exactly.
because with just the calls to action, you can make your voice heard. And as small or as large as our audience is, if there's several hundred emails coming into a senator's office about an issue, that's enough to make them pay attention at least a little bit.
Yeah.
Yep.
If there's thousands pouring in, they certainly have to pay attention, because that's enough to make a difference in an election, especially with as close as elections have been recently. So join CASA, follow the calls to action. It really only takes like 30 seconds to send out an email. All you have to do is fill in your address, and it will say, these are your representatives. Are these the people you would like to send this message to? And it will have a pre-printed message. 30 seconds. I swear it only takes 30 seconds.
Yep.
It's one of
And-
the best free sources of information a vapor can keep tabs on.
I got an email back from Patty Murray today. I was like, fuck you. But she did email me back about the bills. So there's two. There's not one, there's two this week. There's a flavor ban tomorrow, and then there's an outrageous tax on nicotine on Friday. And ban on internet sales and something else. Neither of them have a very good chance of getting anywhere, but that doesn't matter. If we don't do anything, they can do whatever the fuck they want. So I advise everybody, join CASA, follow the calls to action, make your voices heard. Let them know I'm a one-issue voter, and I will happily vote you out of office if you take action on either of these bills. You can either vote no, or you can abstain. That's your choices. If you vote yes on either one, I'm coming for you. And by coming for you, I mean I'm not voting for your ass. I'm going to vote for anybody against you. And that's what I've been promising Patty Murray for years at this point. I will vote for anybody but you. That's why I was surprised I got a message back from Patty Murray.
What was her
May.
response?
May says, "Fuck Patty." It was the typical canned response. I will take your position under advisement. Your word are the residents of Washington. Blah 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 blah. Your word means a lot to me. Blah blah blah. Fuck you. It does.
Yeah,
Fuck you. It does, Patty Murray.
It's generally the same similar pre-programmed response you'll get from most of your senators. Your voice has been heard. Thank you for giving me your thoughts. I'm here to represent you, kind of shit. But that's.
And then I always email back like, you have not had my interests at heart for years.
Yeah.
You will not be getting my vote. Goodbye.
Yep. Well, and the thing is that doesn't change the fact that you still have to keep fucking telling them, because
Over and
sometimes if they
over again.
don't hear enough opposition, they assume that they won over the majority. So
Yep.
even if just the couple hundred of us that know about it, we still have an obligation on behalf of everyone who doesn't know that this fight is a thing or doesn't have the ability to make their voices heard. That's what we're here for. That's our fucking job at this point.
Exactly, Meter. Exactly.
Mhm. And that also goes not just stateside. If we can help someone internationally, by all means, please do so.
Absolutely.
Where the hell's my funky pineapple?
Got the
In a
funk on
funky
out.
place.
Well, that's always a good thing, and let them know that they're not immune to being removed from office.
Well, and a good thing that I have noticed as well, when you do personalize your own letters instead of going with just the, type your name in, because that's always an option as well. A lot of them tend to actually read, or at least respond with less pre-canned shit when you do reach out to them instead of just signing on to a petition, which is still valuable, but actually getting your word to someone tends to have a little more of an impact than, being the 373,000th person on a change.org petition.
Yep. And Karen, that's a wonderful idea. If you've got time to personalize them, by all means, that's fantastic. And don't get me wrong,
It doesn't take a lot to change up those CASA letters.
No, they're pretty much a form letter, and it's fill in the blank. If you want to fill in a blank and add something to it, you can. It's really easy to do.
If you want to do fuck you, Patty Murray, I mean, you're always welcome to add that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's probably not going to help your cause. I mean, this is not that it, this is not from personal experience where you would type fuck you, Patty Murray. Like, this is not personal experience and not helping causes.
And there's another one. Introduced bill for total ban on vaping in Utah.
Get on it. Get on it, everybody.
Yep.
Like we tell you over and over again.
Michelle, you must be crazy if you think we're shaving any beards. This
Wait,
thing ain't
what?
going nowhere.
Why are we shaving beards?
Yeah, what's Michelle saying?
I think Michelle bumped her head on the way in. Someone check on her, please.
I know,
Why
right?
why would we? Is there some sort of good?
I don't. I'm very lost right
Is there
now.
some sort of a cause that we're missing?
Yeah, it was they're like some sort of
Why would we be shaving our
Would you
beards?
shave your beard if it would save vaping?
Yes.
yes, without a doubt.
I need some type of writing form here before we start these negotiations. I need to see something concrete.
Yeah, if it was something where it says you shave your beard off permanently, and this will forever stay legal, and we're not gonna
Right.
fuck with you, by all
Exactly.
means,
Exactly.
I will
'Cause
be the
love-
most baby
yeah,
face looking motherfucker you ever seen.
exactly. Because I love vaping, but I've had my beard longer than I've had my wife. So we're going to have some serious concrete evidence here that what I'm sacrificing is for a good, solid, dependable solution, not a temporary fix. I want a vaping prenup, if you will.
I like that.
Did they really say that? Shave your beard over the coronavirus? How about just fucking wash your shit?
Why would I shave my beard over the coronavirus?
I was going to say the same thing happened the last time SARS came around. They tried to say that beards were more inclined to habitate bacteria growth. And then they actually did a scientific study and found it's actually the opposite, because the hair in your beard is almost constantly either rustled by the general breeze or by a man messing with it. It's constantly being filtered naturally, so it's less likely to have any actual bacteria in it. Plus the natural oils from your skin that help protect the beard as well. So hashtag fake news.
You also remember they said Y2K was going to destroy the fucking world, and we all know how that went.
This is true. All it destroyed was Best Buy stocks.
Pretty much. Oh, man.
That was
Yeah,
weird.
I'm
I just got
not
some
into
screen tearing. Huh.
I'm not into the FUD.
Volca, that was actually something I was thinking about bringing up today. Because I did see that a little bit posted through social media. That whole RDA, that's
something about that.
that's
Yeah.
for me, that's pretty big shoes to fill. I don't know if they can do any justice.
Yeah. It would have to be.
Who's making it?
Joel, 99 Raps.
Functional- For a RDA to be called the RDA, it should be like the most functional, but also aesthetically like beautiful fucking RDA, in my opinion.
It's not bad looking from the pictures I've seen already. Don't
That's because Rye took those pictures. We watched him take those pictures and edit the stacks.
Well,
Yep, based off of what I've seen, I'm going to keep my mouth shut. I'm not supporting it, though.
Yeah, I don't know if it. The other thing that I'm a little taken back by it is wondering if they're just using it as a way to sell. And to me, in my personal opinion, that's not okay if that's the case.
Sure is.
Now, if there was something that I saw in writing or that all proceeds from those were going directly to Rye's family, by all means, I'd tell everybody and their brother to buy one, even if it was fucking shit.
Yeah.
I'd buy like 3 of them if that was the case.
Mm-hmm.
Or if it goes to advocacy, even.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm reserving judgment until it's officially released,
Yeah.
and to
Keep-
see what they
keeping
do.
the
But as
eyes
of right
on
now, I'm not fucking happy about it at all, and I'm not quiet about that either. I think it was very poorly timed and very poorly executed. I hope I'm wrong, but as of right now, I'm preparing the anger machine to let roll.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to depend on a lot of things for me, but being as it's not even out there yet, it's kind of in a, what I'm going to call wishful thinking land.
As I said, at this point, I'll reserve judgment until it's out and we see how it goes, but not good early indications for me, at least.
Yeah. definitely not something I'm gonna go out of my way to get my hands on until I see what's going on there.
Yeah, I mean, if there's something, if there's something going to Rye's family, yes. But otherwise,
Why the fuck are you using his name?
yeah, why are you using Rye's name?
I mean, were you tight friends with him like that? Like, you know? Yeah.
When I first heard about it, I just figured it was something like the Lumi, like the disposable tank. And I was just reading about how I'm not disposable, and then I found it under Rye's name.
I remember that.
And having spent some time with Rye, I know some stuff behind the scenes, so.
Yeah,
Just kinda
that's
like-
the other reason. That's the other reason I'm kind of reserving judgment as well, is because I have some behind the scenes knowledge for this as well. So I'm optimistically hoping that I'm wrong.
Voka, you're exactly right there as well. Every post that I looked at with that on it, that doesn't even mention or honor him at all. But I was expecting maybe a hashtag be like Rye or something in there. No, not a goddamn thing. So, to be honest, this is, for me, it's going to be a hands off for right now. I'm going to reserve judgment until later. But for the time being, it's completely hands off. Not something I'm going to mess with. That was actually, surprisingly enough, something that was on my docket to bring up today. So, well done, Voka, for taking shit out of my mouth before I got to it. Good job, babe. So about that, Voka, that's going to cost you one of those beautiful Filipino mech mods. So I'll PM you my address later.
in honor of Rye
Right,
being a
of course.
Filipino.
Yep.
That's right.
It'll have my address, and then right at the end, it's going to be like. Oh. Yeah, I'm done talking about that. I don't want to talk about that anymore because that'll just get me going, and I don't feel like going. It wasn't that bad of a day today. Rest of the week was shit, but today was pretty good, so I'll take it.
I mean, depending on how you look at it. I will say this: I'm currently semi-embroiled in a multifaceted argument on one of my local news's social media pages because they posted a story about how the Harrison, Arkansas high school has now installed vape detectors in all of the bathrooms throughout the school to, and I quote, curb the youth epidemic that is spiraling out of control in Arkansas. Brandon, I don't live in Arkansas, but I'm close enough that I can call bullshit with a megaphone, so I am.
Does anybody want to tell me what the fuck a vape detector is? That's so fucking
It's
retarded.
a steam detector.
That's
It's
what I
a
was gonna
steam
say.
detector, TJ.
It's one of those water pop fucking stickers that they put on the inside of cell phones. They just put them on the ceiling and watch them to change colors.
Maybe they have an alarm on them once they've gotten wet enough.
Right.
Look. All right. This is adults only on this show, so I'm going to go ahead and say it now. Crafty little bastards, toilet paper tube stuffed with toilet paper, absorbs all the moisture. Never going to bust them. Get the fuck out.
YouTube is a thing.
Yeah.
The internet is a thing. So,
And
I mean,
kids are not as stupid as you would think they are.
not in general.
Some of them are.
Not about that. Not about this sort of thing. They are kind of dumb.
Not in the crafty little bastard department.
They are kind of dumb.
Yeah. For those kind of things, they're dumb.
I was pretty dumb. I used to think back in the day I could use toilet paper rolls with the dryer sheets for some herb in my bedroom.
Well, you can. You just have to keep in mind that the thing that you're lighting still puts off smoke as well.
Yeah.
While it does help some of the smell, you're not destroying all of that smell, because I
Yeah.
remember that's when I got the scariest message of my life after I tried that. I thought if I ran out of the house I wouldn't get anything, but then that night I got a message from my mom while I was at school and I just about peed myself.
Dude, that's why I had a device for consuming such things that had like a little cap on it.
Yep.
So, you know, you'd hit it with the fire, and then you'd do your thing, and then you'd blow it out the tube, and then that would stop producing smoke out of the top of it.
Yep.
I had an air conditioner in my bedroom window, and that little slide thing that you were supposed to screw in, I never screwed it in, so I'd slide it over, put my little personal fan in there, and
Yeah, that's
put it in backwards.
exhaust is always good.
It still didn't help me. My mom was all over it. Bad habits are easy to start, but even
Nose like a
if
bloodhound.
you don't stop it, I will. That message is engraved in my brain.
I will.
Library, you're right. Whoever that salesman was for that school made a fuck ton of money off of that.
Salesman.
That is a solid point there as well, Ricky. The amount of money they're spending now to make more money in the long run is crazy. It is indeed.
I'm trying to figure out what this epidemic is, because the new tooth commercials are people blowing up their jewels and saying bye-bye. No, it's okay, bye at the end of the fucking commercial. And it says, join this many kids and throwing out their jewels. It's such an epidemic.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never
It's
even
the new
seen
truth
that.
campaign. Yeah.
Wow.
It's pretty dumb. It's terribly written, but it's like comically funny. It's one of those like bad movie funny kind of things.
I feel like I avoid everything they put out.
Like,
I should watch it for science, but
there's a car that
It's
drives
amazing.
away with a bunch of jewels on it, like a wedding car would, with the cans tied to the back of it. They put them under pools. They put them in fucking bottles that they're exploding with Mentos and weird shit.
Join the millions of kids around the country who are giving up the jewel.
Pretty much.
So stupid.
Yeah.
Skinny hippos got jokes. I like it. That's fucking funny.
Oh, this smells delicious.
My curiosity, though, is how is it still an epidemic if that many people have quit their jewels?
There weren't that many to begin with to put them down. That's the thing.
Exactly. And when they show their fake numbers, it's like,
Yeah.
Well, with this whole coronavirus thing, they might forget about us for a minute because they're so worried about the coronavirus.
I live in a major metropolitan city, and I pass by my old high school like every day, all the time on the way to or from work. I don't even see kids smoking anymore, really. Like when I was in high school, like they're like the second you would walk out the doors, you'd light up because you were just ready to go, And I never see any kids like on the bus stop or walking home smoking cigarettes or vaping. And like you notice shit like that. When you're a vapor, you notice other vapors. I never see it.
That's funny. 'Cause I live next to a high school, and I get off on Wednesday through Friday just before the high school kids do.
Yeah.
And they walk, because I literally live less than a block away from high school. And they walk down through our street here, and I watch them every once in a while. I never see one smoking, never see one vaping, nothing. And if that was me back in the day, walking home, that cigarette was in my hand. I had that fucker cuffed in case the cops seen me, but...
Yeah, cup that shit. Yeah, exactly. Had your hand up against your side with that cigarette cup just in case.
Yep.
Well, we talked about this a while ago. Like, I talked to my nephew, and like they all think smoking is lame. They think vaping is fucking lame. Like they don't. Like this generation thinks this shit's lame, and it's the same percentage of kids that were doing it when we were younger. It's us, It's that crew of kids that's vaping. It's that crew of kids that's smoking. It's that crew of kids that's getting high. Going out drinking every weekend. Buffalo meter.
I was one of those kids going to the keggers because all of my friends were older than me. So at 14, I was going to keggers and playing beer pong, realizing the drunker I got, the better I was at playing beer pong.
Not me. I was a fucking nerd. I didn't do any of that stuff until like high school, and then even then I was still pretty reserved until I started playing in bar bands, and then it was like, everything just punches you in the face. Like you gotta learn how to drink. You gotta learn how to be on stage high as fuck. All at once.
Yeah.
Michelle, that Flavor tobacco is it's called Dark Leaf. It's on the Fresh from the Kitchen group. No, it's not. It's on the Discord. It's called Dark Leaf though. Like it's got 4% cured tobacco in it. Like it's nuts what that recipe has in it, but it's tasty.
Do we need to get a link to the Discord?
Sure.
Michelle, I would say I was surprised you were a party girl, but I'd be lying. That was my
I've got everything
every
for that.
weekend. I was pretty bad about a lot of that shit.
Oh shit. Okay.
Here's a link to the Discord where you could submit recipes.
Cody, same here. There was... I could go to school without a pack of cigarettes and leave with a pack if I needed to. There was that many kids that I could bum cigarettes off of that I could leave with a full pack by the end of the day.
Yep, easily.
See, when I went to school, there was a lot of kids who smoked, but nobody ever had cigarettes. Except me, so I was always the guy like, hey bro, let me get a square, dog.
Like, yeah,
Somehow
I'd be selling mine. Especially because I hit that, especially once I became a senior, because I hit that magical 18 mark while I was in high school. So it's,
Me.
selling shit to people.
I've always hung out with people older than me. Like, somehow I got lucky. I was the freshman that had no friends in freshman year. All of my friends were seniors. No idea how I lucked out with that one. Normally the freshmen are tortured by the seniors or something like that. Allegedly. All of my best friends were seniors. It sucked though, because when they all graduated, I had nobody.
Well, they didn't hate me because I always had my hands into something. So anybody who needed something newer to come. Glad I got out of that line of work.
Oh snap, Rin sent me a video to wake up to and I never got to listen to it.
Uh-oh. Michelle's kid is signed into Discord, needs to figure out how to unsubscribe him. Can't you boot people out of the Discord?
Oh, I could boot him real quick. Give me his name.
What's his name, Michelle? There you go.
Are they younger than they're supposed to be in my Discord?
Apparently, because she went, oh crap.
There's Frog Boy. I can remove this person. If that's the person that you're talking about.
Yep, that's it.
Alright, where's Frog Boy at?
Already gone.
Oh, you already booted him?
Done.
You're in with the quickness.
I said that band hammer is swift.
There's a lot of people in here. How'd you find it so fast?
Kidneys.
Check your history, apparently.
Extra close.
Oh, when this announces the person that has joined, you right-click their name. I was scrolling through members, and there is like 200 plus members in here now.
Yeah, no, I got it.
Still going strong.
Nice. Big old fat fucking ID on that.
5mm.
Fresh Lumi braids.
Now I hooked Adam up with some crochet rods so he could do Lumi braids the proper way.
Oh, I'm actually about to use one right now to straighten this back out. Got a little freaking when I pulled the cotton out. Crochet rods. They're all conveniently labeled.
Nice.
I need to get the pack that I sent you. Mine doesn't go up that large.
Yeah, this goes up to 6.5, I think. Yeah,
Mine stops at
there's 5.
That's a huge bitch.
Yeah. Oh, probably should turn the mod off by doing this. Safety first, people.
That's right.
Oh, Vega, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of us who have done that on way more than one occasion.
The
Oh
real
my
question
God.
is- the real question is, did you ever get bad enough where you didn't mind and you kept going?
No, I've never
I've
been
seen
that
it
bad.
happen.
But
I've
I've
never
done
gone
that
there,
a
but I've
bunch.
seen it. Yeah. I
Nope.
watched a
many
dude take the
times.
whole filter down and didn't
Oh,
blink. And I was like,
Lord.
what is happening in your body right now?
I've gotten pissed off enough to where I've just ripped the filter off and bare-assed it from there.
I've done
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
wasting this fucking cigarette.
Exactly, yeah. Like, damn it, snap, throw,
Fuck.
relight.
Yeah, it's like, that's what I get for being a dumb fuck.
Doesn't
Yeah.
matter which end I light now.
Yep.
I remember just cutting off the end because I've done that a couple times, and I just get my little scissors and be like, snip, snip.
Snip it.
I remember being drunk, lighting the wrong end, cutting the filter in half, flipping
Yeah,
it
going
over,
anyway.
and lighting that moist ass end of a cigarette and fucking smoking that thing anyway.
Yep. Because who cares, right?
Yeah, at that
Need
point,
nicotine.
fuck it.
Well, waste that cigarette.
Yep.
Fuck it.
And I'm too drunk to drive to get more.
I was very crafty little. So, allegedly, I may or may not have been trading my Adderall for cigarettes or my lunch money for cigarettes, so I always had cigarettes. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Every time I think of somebody who doesn't need Adderall taking Adderall, I think of that Saved by the Bell episode where Jesse's all fucking coked out on caffeine pills. Yeah.
I'm so
I was on, my mom put me on Adderall when I was in the 2nd grade, and I absolutely hated that because towards like my senior year, if I didn't have something to focus on, I would just start shaking and just looking at everything like, give me something to do, give me something to do, somebody give me something to do, please, 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 please. I hated that shit. I remember trying to cheek them and throwing them in the toilet until I could allegedly make $2.50 off of each one.
Think that's enough cotton for that?
Yeah. Might be a little too long, but yeah.
Well, yeah. I don't know. I feel like this isn't fat enough. I like to choke the shit out of these braids because they're thirsty as fuck.
Drying one of these braids out is impossible. Well, it's possible, but
No, it's possible if you're fucking on your 10-minute break and you're chain vaping like it's your last vape ever. Because I've done that. I've gotten a dry hit off this, and it's not pleasant.
when you do get a dry hit, it's not pleasant.
No, you know.
But getting to that point is also sometimes pretty difficult because you can taste it slowly
I
disappear.
might need to get more 14 strand from you. This coil, I hate to say it after I cleaned it, it's starting to look a little worn out finally.
You've had it for like almost a year now.
It's been a while.
You got it before December of last year.
I'm just trying. Yeah, but I didn't put it on right away.
Yeah, but
Remember, I needed those rods.
Maybe.
it's almost been a year that you've had it though, so that's a good sign.
I have
knew
one
this
saved still.
piece of cotton's too thin. I knew it.
I have some braid orders I have to work on. Larry panicked. Got a huge order of braid. I mentioned my wrist was starting to hurt, and Larry's like, "Quick, gotta get all the braids."
Finish them. Finish them. No, that's a little too much now. Why don't I use this old piece as a guide and just make one slightly bigger? Science, cocksuckers.
Science.
Science, you cocksucker. Love Joey.
That's a good
Cool.
idea. I should print out Larry's shipping label and make a little receipt with all the braids that I need to do.
Did you ever buy a printer?
Yep. And we got it
Like-
set up last night too.
A regular printer?
Well, I have two now.
Right. Oh, that's good.
I have a
Okay.
shipping label one and I have a document one now.
What brand did you go with for the document one?
Brother.
Brother is
All right,
the
cool.
document one, and the Dymo is the shipping.
Yeah, I
one.
remember your shipping label one, but we were looking at printers like a week ago, I feel like.
Yep.
And then I
Yeah, maybe two.
haven't talked to you guys since then.
I was like, Mr. Loomy, we could go out to the library so I could print this, or you could buy a cheap printer. He bought the cheap printer.
Careful with the
There we
cheap printer,
go.
though. That fucking ink is expensive. Sometimes it's cheaper to replace your fucking printer than it is your.
It's a laser. It's not an inkjet.
Yeah.
Yeah, still, those can go through it.
Now we researched for her. She got a good one. We wouldn't let her make an unsupervised purchase when we were coming to something like that.
Oh,
You guys helped me do all of my shopping.
we spent a pretty penny on the printer for our house because the missus prints off a lot of coupons.
Right.
And before she had one of those cheap fucking like bubble jet fucking printers. And I'm going, no, we can't keep doing this because it costs more for the fucking ink than it does to buy a whole goddamn new.
Buy a new
those are
printer
expensive.
every 6 months.
And
Yeah.
plus side, I have an aunt who owns a print shop in Billings, Montana. So anytime we need refills or anything, we just send her the fucking big ass ink cartridge for the new thing, and she fills them and sends it back to us. And I don't. I'm going free. All I pay for is shipping.
Right.
So, Lightbearer asked a good question out there. So if someone's open to having a conversation about vaping, how do you start it? And then Michelle put probably the best answer is your personal experience is always the best way to start. That way you're talking about from firsthand experience and talking from the heart. Like I'll tell people how much weight I've lost and how I bicycle everywhere and how I went and ran a half marathon like 3 months after I started vaping. And
That's ironic because you're the example that I use a lot of the time too.
My
So-
favorite thing to start with is I didn't intend to vape.
Yeah.
It happened and it worked like a charm to help me quit.
Yep.
And I wasn't intending on quitting. That's how I like to start because it, like you said, it's personal. It tells them exactly how it happened. And then let them know the positive health effects that it's had since then. Like being able to taste, smell, even though you smell some things you really didn't want to smell, but you
True.
smell them anyways. Because, I mean, there's some things I'd forgotten about. I'm like, let me tell you what, baby shit didn't smell anywhere near as bad until I quit smoking. And I went, oh, fuck. I was like, no, I understand why there's all these videos of fucking parents gagging and shit while they're trying to change their kid. Trying to thank God I've got a stronger stomach than that, but fuck.
Little Eddie. When he used to change his daughter's diaper, he'd just be like, the whole time.
Fuck it.
It's so
sissy.
weird because she just graduated from high school last year. So it's pretty trippy. And I just remember when I first started hanging out with him, going over at his house. Oh, I gotta change Kaylee.
Going through like
Yeah.
500 wipes.
Yeah, the whole fucking box. His girl's like, "What the? How do you go through so many wipes?"
have you smelled this? Oh.
Yeah. This child's a shit machine.
Yeah, if you're gonna go that route, Liber, start by talking about yourself and how it's helped you. That's huge, because then it
Yeah.
puts it on a personal level for them,
That's what I always do.
and then you can go if they're open to that, then you can go into the whole educational portion of it, because you just got to test the waters to see where they're at and what they're willing to accept and hear.
That happened to me last year when the Disheartened, my other band, played at Southside Irish Party. Like they have a Southside Irish Parade in Chicago every year, and then friends of my bass player, they have a party at their house every year, the day of the parade. So all the people in the neighborhood come and hang out and drink beer and have food and shit. And some lady was at the party last year, and she was like, "Wow, that's a big crowd." She's like, what makes you do that? And I was like, oh, well, I quit smoking. I smoked for 20 years. I told her a little brief, truncated version of the story, and she's like, well, I heard those are bad. And then I went into the education, not into the, listen, bitch, you don't know what you're talking about. Actually, there's science to back up the fact that it's way safer, the whole spiel. And I think she walked away enlightened a little bit.
Well, that's half the battle. As long as you can put the bug in somebody's ear, it gives them something to think about. And who knows, it might lead to that person going out and researching it a little bit and going, hey, They're telling the truth. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Just dawned on me. Larry ordered 7 braids.
Damn. Balla, shot caller.
My hands are gonna be so tired.
7 braids for 7 Larrys.
There will be blood on these braids.
What's happening, Jay? Evening.
I remember looking at it, but I never actually realized the numbers that he had before the request. Like, I saw 14-strand Celtic braid. I didn't realize that it says 3 14-strand Celtic braids, 2 14-strand French braids.
French braids.
Wee wee.
Right?
Apparently, he likes the French braids.
I like this one. This exact spec. This exact.
Some people like French, some people like
Shut up.
Celtic, you know. Just depends on what you're into.
Yeah.
Right? I prefer the vertebrates, but I don't mind the Celtics either.
I don't really like the French or the vertebrates. I'm more like the Celtic.
Skinny Hippo says he needs in order to, but it wait till you recover.
No,
Do it.
This order was made in advance. Like it doesn't have to be done until April. So
There you go.
you're good. If you need braids, you're good.
Feel free.
Plow those
Son.
hands. Get her to work.
That's right.
Warming up for Larry's order, if anything.
Idle hands. You know what they say about those, right?
Supervised
Something
shopping.
about the devil.
Larry's like, I'm going to be making an order in April, and I was like, well, go ahead because I know you're good for your word. Just give me the
Right.
list so I could start working on them now.
Right, he's gonna have you make like 10 braids and then just disappear from like fucking YouTube and
Right.
everywhere and never hang out with us again.
It's okay. We know where he lives.
And
I
just
do.
be like, Larry, right? We have his address. Fuck that.
I'll send Maggie to his front door if I have.
Right.
Fucking over
I
there
think
cop
Rin is
knocking
in
with
range
the-
of him. We'll just send Rin over there. Stick
That's
around.
true. We just send Rin to get him, and then he's
Fuck him
fucked.
up.
Yeah, he's fucked up.
Motherfucker.
Why can't you
Fucking
have Zoom? You're stupid.
be knocking on the fucking door with a goddamn mag flashlight.
No, he's Larry. That man.
Yeah.
That man is
Well,
probably the best customer I've ever had.
I will say Rin is strapped, so there is that.
Yep.
Like, if you really need a cap put in somebody, Looney.
I mean, I have plenty of guns too.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but she's-
she doesn't live. She lives like 3 blocks from Larry.
Yeah, she's close enough to reach out and touch him.
Yeah, I'd have to take a
But you could
roundabout
probably,
way
you could
because
probably open the window and hit him.
Drive by.
I think I'd have to take a roundabout way because I think after Pennsylvania, I cannot carry my guns unless I have them locked away in some kind of special container with certified locks. It needs 2 locks on it, and they have to be certain types of locks. They don't accept my concealed carry permit in Pennsylvania.
No more locked doors.
No more locked doors.
So I'd have to somehow try to avoid PA.
Oh. You have to find some
Just keep them stowed away. And don't do anything stupid that fucking you're gonna get stopped for.
I remember my sister was driving up to give my mom some cats that she rescued, and as like a joke, she picked me up beforehand, and we didn't tell my mom about it. And we were driving to meet her halfway, and my mom's like, "Can you make it into Pennsylvania?" And I have my gun on me. You can't go into Pennsylvania. Like, I hate to say this, you're gonna have to tell her we're behind, and she's gonna have to travel down because. So we just sat around for like an hour and a half because I couldn't go into the Pennsylvania border.
Ay,
Good times.
ay. So, we are wicked.
Clicked. So
We
you're-
are live, everybody, live.
You're doing pumpkin. Meter, have you done the Bayless yet?
How
Never
do you know
check your
I did
messages,
something?
do you? You're
No.
the worst message checker ever.
My phone is over here. Give me a break.
You're on your computer. That's where I messaged you.
On my computer? Where?
Where?
Oh.
See the blinking thing at the bottom?
Oh. Okay. We're good.
Hey there, Blinky. Jesus.
The best part is we literally had this exact conversation last night.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Jesus.
What do you mean just last night? We've had this conversation
look.
over 70 times.
This is why I'm not going to be Mr. Loomy, okay?
Oh,
Hey, on the bright side, if people ever need to get a hold of me and they're not you guys, I'm right on that shit. The second it's you guys, though, I have all those group chats muted.
Right?
They ding too much.
Right.
Well, I sleep during the day. I have to mute group conversations.
How about just mute your phone completely while you're sleeping?
I do that too.
Well, then why would you need to mute the other stuff? Because it shouldn't ding if your phone is muted.
Because I live a quiet life. Peter knows now if he needs to get a hold of me, he can just do this thingy, though, because now my wrist will vibrate. So.
Oh, shit.
You should have known, Meter. If you really needed me.
Oh, that's why I just left it out there. It's like, we'll see.
You have the emergency contact now.
I do. I've got the Loomy phone number. It's like the bad phone. It's like the bad phone, but a little more dyslexic and kind of goofy. It's like half red, half blue, with like some swirls in the middle and glitter on one side.
Poof.
It rings. It's a Harry Potter theme song. There you go.
Steam. I love that fucking music.
That's fucking funny.
John Williams right there. Greatest contemporary.
Jersey
composer.
Bagel Snob, what's up?
Oh shit! Look at this. PA does recognize other states' CCW permits.
I have an app. I'll check it.
How long ago was that enacted, though? I wonder.
Yep. Because I have CCW. So I put in my permit, and it will give me states that don't recognize my permit or something I have to do. So my permit states.
Go ahead and go to Montana. They don't give a fuck. I'll let you know that right now.
You can go to Montana. You can go to fucking Texas. Yeah.
If you're outside of any of the major cities, which is the majority of the state, you do not need a concealed carry permit. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
Yep. That's a wonderful thing. Every time I go fishing out there, I always carried something with me. Just by the off chance.
I was talking to my dad about concealed carry permits, and he's like, why?
They're fucking, what's that lake out there called? I want to say it's called Canyon Lake, I think.
Yeah, Canyon Lake.
Yeah, I've been fishing out there quite a few times. It's a really long fucking lake.
Yes, it is.
Pennsylvania does not recognize my permit.
The red ones do?
The red ones don't recognize me.
Well, you ain't coming to my house with no concealed
Of
carry.
course Washington doesn't. Of course Washington doesn't. They want you to come and pay.
Which is
through
funny
the nose
considering
there.
we're a concealed carry state.
It says, your permit not honored is the red colors.
Pennsylvania was in red? I couldn't even tell.
See if I could zoom in.
I believe you. Yeah, well, that's lame.
Well,
I saw my state in red too, but that doesn't surprise me.
Michelle's, that's why you carry corks in your boat then, just in case you do something like that. You just stuff a cork in the hole, you'll be alright.
Yep.
Sounds like somebody needs Flex Seal.
Yeah. I saw this boat in half.
I shot this boat with holes because of snakes. Fixed it with Flex Seal.
Flex Seal's the greatest feeling on
Flex
the
seal
prize.
is shit.
Yeah, Lumi is a first-hand testament to that. Don't seal shit.
Yeah, don't seal a damn thing.
steal your wallet after you buy it.
Right.
Fucking Foxy.
Yeah, there was no way I was going on a road trip with my sister for an 8-hour road trip without my concealed carry permit or my gun with me. Not happening.
Gotta protect your assets.
That's something I love about this app. Like, I think it was only $3, but it's so worth it.
This isn't bad. It's not great, but it's not bad.
Isn't Philly one of the gun-free cities?
Yeah.
A lot of places don't like Virginia's concealed carry permit because of the requirements to get a concealed carry permit in Virginia are very minimal.
Yeah.
So they don't recognize Virginia's
You
permit.
don't want you psychopaths coming to their states.
Well, that's the other thing about Montana. If you're in a major city, all you do is you pay the application fee, which is like $20.
I know I could upgrade my permit, but how often am I going to be traveling?
Hidalgo.
Ooh,
Jesus Christ, did he just fall out of bed?
man. God damn, ML Nikon.
That was a loud ass thump.
Emily.
Emily!
She makes a mean recipe.
She does.
I go back and I make that princess cake one that she had like a year or two ago every couple months and bake the shit out of it. It's really good.
$25.
It's like 3 ingredients. It's like a three ingredient banger.
3, 2, 1.
She's good for that shit. It might be a 3-2-1 actually. Now I gotta look.
She's
I got
the
OCD.
she is the queen of simplified recipes.
Hell yeah, and they're tasty too.
Yeah, she always makes real tasty stuff.
Yeah, I've always been an Emily fanboy.
Yeah, that's how Montana works, Michelle. You pay the application fee, and they're like, "Yeah, sure, here you go. Do you have a felony? That doesn't matter. Here you go. Here's your handgun permit."
I took like a course that was an hour, and then you have to go out and you have to shoot a 22 handgun, and then he signs off on it. And then you could go down to the little state office thingy and submit your thingy, and boom, laminated permit.
What the fuck are you gonna do with a 22?
Right?
Kill a mosquito.
At least put a 9mm in people's hands to see if they can handle it.
I was thinking the same thing, but at the same time.
And if you really want to see if they can handle it, put a 45 in their hand. See what
I took
happens.
that
If they
course
can't
with my
control it,
father.
don't give them a permit.
I took my course with my father-in-law, my mother-in-law, and my husband. All 4 of us were down there. We group traveled, took our little course. My father-in-law was being a pain in the ass, asking all kinds of unreasonable questions.
You capped his ass.
You know, somebody's got to be that fucking guy. Oh, Meeker says, I'm that guy. I'm just asking stupid shit just to ask questions.
Right. It's one of the many things that I do. Ask stupid questions en masse.
Lumi, that recipe was totally a 3-2-1.
I'm getting to know my panelist very well. She's getting to know
3%.
me.
3% princess cake, 2% Shisha strawberry, Wonder Flavors and Inawera, and then 1% Vape Train vanilla buttercream frosting.
That would be a really good one.
Delicious.
Emily's
The
awesome.
picture makes you want to vape it.
I think I drive her insane slightly.
What's up with your numbers, Lumi? 321. 321.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed, but the average for VSO Pumpkin on ELR is 2.57. Pretty sure you had something to do with that, Lumi.
I'm working on raspberry stuff still.
Nice.
Eddie
used it at
Tooney's
2.5.
trying to battle me on
That's
ELR.
hilarious. Tooney's countering you.
The only
He
thing
just
I
waits for you to put in a recipe, and then he puts in the perfect number to counteract it.
I ran out of raspberry too, so I'm kind of slacking. But I'm trying. I'll get there.
Oh, Meter have you seen all of the news that is dumped onto us for tomorrow? There is a fuck ton.
There's been some interesting tidbits.
And some shit I'm not thrilled about, but, you know.
I mean, all I'm gonna say is if this news weighs more than 40 pounds, it's gonna affect my performance.
Oh, shit. Dude, you know what I realized when you sent that video to our group chat for that earlier? I was not following him at all, and I don't know why, because I'd seen plenty of his shit before. That dude is fucking
Sweep him down like
hilarious.
this. Sweep him down like this. Make sure you get the groin.
I love Master Ken the Ameridote way.
Yeah, that shit's fucking hilarious. Reading numbers off. Uh-oh. Be right back. I think I hear my kid creeping.
Oh.
Let's get your opinions on your experience meter. Do you hate it?
I won't say that I hate it, but it's not in my top 5. It's very much like unsweetened cocoa more than chocolate. And it's kind of got a Play-Doh-y note to it.
Hold on a sec. Let me stretch for this one, Jersey Bagel Snob. Oh. Okay.
Oh no! Yeah. Wow.
Okay. So here's what's happening. Back in the 90s, the Tobacco Master Settlement Agreement was reached, and states will. Oh, Fidel goes up. So states are paid and still are paid. The Master Settlement Agreement runs out in a couple of years. But states are paid millions to billions of dollars based on the amount of cigarettes they sell every year. And so states started selling futures on this. Instead of just collecting the money as it came in every year, states started selling futures on this. And
taking out loans.
And now that the smoking rates have plummeted, like smoking rates are the lowest they've ever been. States aren't collecting what they're supposed to, and they sold these futures, and they can't reach the futures, and so they have to default on what they sold, and so they have to make the money back up, and so the states are losing all this money. Now, if you go back and look, starting in about we'll say about 2009 is kind of when vaping started hitting it fairly big in the U.S. Before that, it was just kind of a novelty. From 2000 to 2007 to 2009, it was just kind of a novelty. And so about 2009, it really started catching on here in the US as the equipment improved, as flavors improved, this sort of thing. And the smoking rates from like 2009 till present have just bombed out. And it's directly related to vaping. And vaping is a grassroots industry. It's not something that big corporations started or anything like this. It was a dude in China who created something to quit smoking, and it caught on. And of course now there's big corporate vaping. That there's Juul, there's Enjoy. There's entities that are going to survive pretty much no matter what happens here in the next little bit. But because of all this, the states are losing tons and tons and tons of money. And so it's in their best interest to discredit vaping as much as they can. And that's where people like Stanton Glantz out of the University of California from San Francisco. Over the last, I think it's since about 2009, he's been paid over $20 million to produce all these studies that say vaping is bad. And you see a lot of this here in the US. You'll see people do a big donation to this department or big donation to this department, and to benefit a study. And then they'll also fund the study. They'll fund the department's research on something else. And the university will come back and say exactly what you want them to, because with vaping, quite frankly, you know, it's easy enough to really abuse a product and come up with the results that you've been seeing. None of which is actually true. The actual scientifically done studies have shown that vaping is like at least 95% safer. And that 5% is pretty much user error. There's batteries, there's using bad technology, using things the way they're not intended. That's the 5%. Other than that, you know, other than being addicted to nicotine, well, it's not even addiction, it's a dependence. You have a dependence on nicotine. Other than the dependence on nicotine, there's not a lot in science that shows anything bad with vaping. The things that you see on TV, like the E-Valley, the deaths, that sort of thing, that's all from illicit THC products. That's coming out of Mexico, it's coming out of China, it's coming out of all these places that use questionable ingredients, let's say, like vitamin E acetate. And that's not saying, you know, that's not saying that like weed vapes are bad. Weed vapes aren't bad if they're done correctly, if they're from a legitimate lab, and you know they help a lot of people. You know, weed vapes help a lot of people. So it's not saying all weed vapes are bad either. It's just the illicit ones. Like you'll see stuff on Snapchat, you'll see stuff on Instagram, people that are just making this stuff in their basement and selling it off to people. That's the bad stuff. That's what's causing it. And recently, because of all the money, the states jumped on this opportunity with the deaths, with all this other stuff, and they pushed it out. And you still see it on the news. People coming out and saying vaping killed people. Vaping killed people. Vaping has never killed anybody. Misuse of a product killed people. People being high as fuck and using vaping products killed people. People using illicit THC products killed people. Actual nicotine vaping, when used correctly, has killed absolutely 0 people and has been scientifically proven at this point to be at least 95% safer than vaping. What this all comes down to is money. That's what it all comes down to, is money. The states push these anti-vaping agendas to get vaping off the market so that people will start smoking again, so that they can keep making their master settlement agreement money. So there you go. That's what it all comes down to in the end, is money. I hope I didn't bore you. Jersey Bagel Snob. I mean, you're doing the right thing, man. You're doing the right thing, Jersey Bagel Snob. I mean, every cigarette that you don't smoke and you vape instead is way better for you. Every cigarette you don't smoke is better for you. Take your time, find everything that's right for you. If you have any questions, feel free to ask any of us here. We will happily point you in the right direction. And make sure that you're safe, make sure that you're having a really good experience. And you'll find the people that hang out here are the nicest people that you're going to run into in the vape community. The people that hang out on these shows, except for TJ and Meter. TJ and Meter are pricks, but they have good hearts. They have good hearts. You have to look past the insults to get to the real heart and see that these guys are pure gold.
Yeah. Have a good night, Boca.
Happy Hippie makes a good point that Illinois, he's from Illinois too. They kind of backed off talking about the crisis or epidemic once they legalized the greens here, because they're selling, you know, THC cartridges and CBD cartridges at dispensaries. So, you know, if it's done right. Yeah.
Exactly. When it's done right, weed vaping helps a lot.
It goes the same for your nicotine too. You know, if it's made by the proper hands, it's far better than smoking cigarettes. And
by my own hands.
He was saying that he's doing a little bit of both. Like, dude, I dual used for 2 or 3 months.
I dual used for almost a decade.
I dual used for years. I just used it when I was in the bar.
Yep.
Yeah, see.
Mine was when I was working in an office.
I started needing less and less cigarettes every day. I was like, wow, this vape is really doing it. And then one day I said, you know, I really don't even need the cigarettes. And I bought my last pack. I smoked them. And the next day I woke up and just felt like I don't need them anymore. And I haven't had a cigarette since. That was almost 7 years ago.
Yep. Jersey Bagel Snob, that is 100% correct. The lung disease is not from nicotine vaping. It is not at all. It's from It's from illicit THC products.
The vitamin
Damn
C
right,
acetate
Tommy.
reactions.
Yeah, the
Damn
vitamin
right,
E,
Tommy.
the vitamin E acetate in some of these, and then there was also some of the pesticides they were using was turning things into cyanide.
Yeah.
So some of the valley deaths were from like this. Hi, Mimi. Were from like the pesticide reactions, and some were from vitamin E acetate reaction. And it's not really a reaction. I mean, if you put oil in your lungs, it's not a good idea.
Yeah.
And that's why nicotine vaping is all water soluble. So there's no. Yeah. Okay, Kat. So yeah, there's no chance of getting the lipid pneumonias. You don't have any chance of getting the cyanide reactions, anything like that. So yeah, that all came from illegal THC products that are being imported from China and Mexico, are the two main culprits. Obviously, there's other countries that are involved in it, but that's the main two that they've found is they're coming from China and Mexico.
Yeah. So the big thing to take away from that is, as long as you're buying from a legitimate retailer, you're gonna be just fine.
Yeah.
Well,
Pretty
and
much.
to back up what these guys were just saying, as long as you're still vaping and smoking, you're still doing better than you would be just smoking. Because I used to vape and smoke for almost a decade. I literally started vaping using the old school disposable blue e-cigs when I was working in a call center doing tech support. And it got to the point where after going outside to have a cigarette after sitting at my desk using my vape, it got to the point where why do I need to get up and go outside? Why do I need that cigarette? After, a point, you come to a point where if you keep sticking with the vape, your brain will naturally make the progression on its own.
Yeah, absolutely.
It might be a little hard. Like, those first couple times you go out, if you're a drinker, if you go out and you're like, wow, man, I really miss that cigarette while I'm drinking. Just pump up your nick a little bit when you go out. You won't miss it as much. Or get a menthol or a tobacco vape when you go out.
Or a little pod to take with you.
So, like something that'll just hit you the right way, that same way that a cigarette would. And that's why I don't ever recommend anybody to like just jump right into RDAs and clouds and coil, like that kind of shit. Get yourself something little mimics a cigarette, Yeah.
Yep.
Meters rubber band blue.
Hippie, you're right. That was a guy down towards, I want to say it was Milwaukee area that got busted doing it out of his basement. And he was one of those idiots that was filling it with shit that can kill you.
Yep.
And yes, Jersey. If you buy e-liquid from a store, a nicotine-based e-liquid, yes, it is water soluble.
Yep. So anything that comes in a bottle that looks similar to this, whether it's a clear bottle, white bottle, whatever, they're going to be water soluble as long as you're buying it from a retailer. And
You can
say what type of deaths are you talking about since Christmas?
What?
Oh, has there been any deaths since Christmas?
Yes, Oli. Yes, there still has. There was one or two more here in the last little bit.
Oh, he's talking about those.
Mixing,
yeah.
And then Jersey wants to know mixing what? Mixing e-liquid. You can make your own.
I just did.
You can do stuff like that. Where'd it go? There you go.
Jesus.
Yeah, I actually run a channel where I teach people to mix their own e-liquid. Vaping Bum J, this is the Vaporesso Aura Play.
Oh yeah, yours. Holy shit. Yeah, that's very Zippo-like.
Fits perfectly in the change pocket. Get a quick little rip. Close it back up. Don't gotta worry about anything.
Interesting.
I kind of dig that, actually.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That kind of gives me that old school Zippo feel for sure.
So if you go over to, once again, I will say this, if you go over to MyV Pro, I picked this up for $5.95.
Oh,
What?
shit. Hold
Yep.
on. I gotta open a new tab.
Me too.
Hold on, I saw something on Vape.deals that they were giving it free with a purchase. If it's the right
Oh,
one.
The flavor is actually pretty darn good on it.
nice. What was it called?
Yes, Jersey Bagel Snob. Yes, I make my own e-liquid flavors and I teach other people how to do it.
Sure does.
Yeah, and instead of spending, you know, 20, 30 bucks on a bottle of liquid, or, you know, you can spend 10 or 15 for some bargain stuff, you can make it for less than $2 a bottle. That'll jump to 3 when they put the new nicotine tax in. It'll jump up to about 3. If that passes, which I think it probably will. Tuesday at 6:30, Friday at 6:30, and Saturday at 10 a.m. Yep, that's my shows, Fidalgo. I do Jersey Bagel Snob. Here you go. I'll type hi, and you can click the button and find me. There's a three little dots over on the other side, and you can go to my channel and take a look. Yeah, a lot of the people here, make their own e-liquid. Lumi's my co-hostess on Tuesdays and Fridays. She sleeps in on Saturday, so she's not there for Saturday. But Adam makes his own liquid. Golf T makes his own liquid. Meter makes his liquid sometimes.
Yeah.
And I'm a sometimeser also. It's not all the time, it's sometimes.
I'm also one of the few people on this panel who will spend 5 hours with you in a Zoom chat, one-on-one, to help you start vaping and making your own e-liquid.
Just beware though that if you do start making your own liquid, you may end up with a Mike Vapes hat just filled with flavorings on your floor. It happens.
But I hope I explained that well enough for you, Jersey. If you got any other questions, man, just hit us. That's what we're here for.
All means, the more questions you have, ask them. We're more than willing to answer anything that you need.
No, Jersey. Vape juice just sounds kind of. Vape juice is kind of here in the YouTube community. We all decided that it sounds kind of juvenile and kind of what it feeds into like the agenda that people are pushing off, like that it's for kids and things like that. So we made a conscious decision to call it e-liquid.
Yeah, but they're one and the same. So here's people saying one thing versus the other. It's all the same.
Yeah, it's all the same. Vape juice and e-liquid are the same thing. What's up, Rodriguez?
A lot. I'll be like, I gotta make some juice, you know. I usually say e-liquid or liquid. Usually, I just say, I need some liquid.
Yeah, I need to make some liquid.
I have fucked up.
But
so those pod things are still $6 on my Vapro.
Yeah.
And the replacement pods are 2 for $6 too. So I think I'm gonna grab that. Actually,
that's what I was just saying. I think
it's actually got really good flavor, surprisingly, for a pod.
I think Nick Devine was talking about that thing not too long ago too.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that pod tobacco that I mixed, the dark leaf. I think that's for a pod, but it was mighty tasty on a dripper. But I'm gonna put it in there because it's got such a nice strong flavor.
I'm gonna do this out of goodwill here. My check won't hit until tomorrow. But I'm going to go ahead and put the link out for that $6 Vaporesso Play. And if they sell out before my check hits, one of you fuckers are coming off your kit. I'm just going to say, doing this out of goodwill. I have faith in you people.
I mean,
the link is in the chat.
You knew a very dear friend that would cover it for you.
Not the point.
The question is,
I'm doing this on goodwill faith of the chat here.
And you can button fire it too, and it's an auto draw.
It does both.
Yep.
Nice.
Dude.
Nice.
All right. Who has seen my wallet? I've been searching for the past 30 minutes, freaking the fuck out because I was looking for my wallet to be like concealed carry permit. No idea where it is now.
You don't leave the house.
Fidalgo, the disposable vapes. I mean, they're just taking advantage of the situation. They won't last long. They'll close the loop on that too. Won't take them long to figure that out. Is it in your freezer, Lumi?
No, it's not in the freezer.
Fidalgo, my thoughts on
Have you looked?
disposables, I think they're fucking terrible for more than one reason. A, that they're just trying to make a quick buck, but B, um, it's something that's just going to end up in a fucking goddamn dump somewhere.
Yeah, they'll just. Well, I mean, kids will just throw them on the ground. So you
Yeah,
see the
it's
little
going to be like
disposable.
cigarette butts. It's just a fucking terrible thing. Keep it to stuff that's only reusable, so that way people will use it till the end of its life cycle, till either the device dies or they no longer make replacements parts for it or whatever the case is. Yeah.
No, throw it on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what they do.
This has refillable pods. Jersey Bagel Snob, so you just buy refillable pods for it.
Yeah, there's a link for the replacement pods on the page for the device itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not hitting it like, every 2 seconds, those pods will last a while. I've had this same pod on my Drag Nano for months and months, and I use it probably every other day.
Yeah.
I've filled it at least 4 or 5 times.
And Jersey Bagel Snob, no, you will not be able to buy replacement pods at gas stations. You have to buy them on. You have to buy them online.
Yeah, for things like that, those ones are, because it's a specialty item, you're not going to find that at a gas station.
Well, they're getting rid of gas. They're getting rid of gas station stuff anyway.
Gas station sales are done anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't buy them at gas stations anyway anymore. Well, yeah, you've got a couple more months. I think it was a 6-month kick in, but you won't be able to buy pods at gas stations anymore here very shortly. You'll have to go to a vape shop. Pods are a ripoff. I agree.
To be honest, it's better that you're going to a vape shop anyways, because then you're going to get legitimate things. You're not going to have something you have to worry about or be complete.
And do your research on your vape shops. I always tell people that. Do your research on your vape shops. Look for the highest rated one and go there.
Yeah.
What's the battery life on that thing, Fresh?
I want to say it's
50 mAh.
Yeah.
How much?
Oh shit, 650 mAh built in.
So this will last you 8 hours. This will last you an 8-hour workday before you have to charge it back up.
And then 3 different power options: 9, 10, and 12.5 watts.
Think of it like your phone.
Yeah. Basically.
Yeah. So like a nice AIO. AIO means all in one. A nice AIO stick would be good for you. I know they make an Aspire Nautilus AIO. It's an all-in-one stick that uses Nautilus coils.
Or the
I'd recommend that, because it's going to look like a lightsaber, which is always fun. And then the Nautilus coils have absolutely fantastic flavor, and so you'll taste more of your stuff. And I give everybody the same advice always: is when you go out and you're thinking about having a cigarette, instead of having having a cigarette instead of using your vape, just pull that vape out and just vape until the urge goes away. It might take a while till that urge goes away, but you'll get the hand to mouth, you'll get the nicotine. And I quit in 3 days. That's how. Yeah, I quit in 3 days. When I got to that third day, because I just used the vape more and more because it was convenient. I could sit in my house, I could vape something that I enjoyed tasting. And that third day, I went all day without a cigarette. I went outside to have one. The go to sleep cigarette. I'm sure all of us smokers remember that. I went out to have my go to sleep cigarette, and I tasted it, and it tasted like a cat peed in my mouth. That's how much ammonia I got off of it. I was like, I just put it out, and I was like, I don't know what the fuck I've been doing. I went back inside, grabbed my vape, just sat there on my couch, just rethinking all of my life decisions that had led me to this point. And I had no intention of quitting smoking when I did it. I had no intention. Like, I was just doing it to save money for a couple months. And here I am, God knows how many years later. Fuck, like 6-7 years later at this point. And I teach people to mix liquid. I talk to people about advocacy, and my life's never been better. And it's all because of vaping. and a couple other decisions I made right around the same time. But still, vaping can change people's lives, and it has changed people's lives. Like people with COPD and obstructive pulmonary disorder and all sorts of things, gone. Like the symptoms are gone.
Yep, it is indeed. It's fucking fantastic. I never intended to quit. This is all Fresh's fault.
There's two of you.
I wasn't even thinking about quitting. I was like, no, I like my fucking cigarettes. Fuck off. But yeah, since I trust you, I'll let you send me something in the mail. See what happens. 3 days later, fucking trash can.
Yeah. I still remember that first video, you unboxing it and having your little vape, and you blew your first cloud, and you're like, all right, I kind of get it.
Yeah, some legal smoke.
Yeah, the puff bars are pretty bad.
Yeah, they're a little rough.
I'll go find a link for that Nautilus AIO.
Probably fucking, like, even wouldn't a T18 or something like that still work for him, probably?
That's what I said. You can't go wrong with the T18. Those old Anakin AIOs, man. Those
Yeah.
things are reliable as shit. You can throw it against a fucking wall, pick it up, and still take a vape off of it.
Yeah, there's a lot of them out there. Fucking lot of good ones.
And that's another nice thing, is that because people haven't sat on the sidelines and have been actively advocating to not let the government just sweep this technology away, there have been so many progressions that it's constantly a better and better time to quit smoking, because there's so many more technological advances and so many more varieties of different options for you to use to find whatever works best for you to quit smoking now.
And unfortunately, I don't even have a small AIO anymore. Otherwise, I would say I would send it to you, but I don't have one anymore.
Yeah.
There you go. It's for $23.99. They have several colors in stock, and you can add more. You can add the coils if you want. And the nice thing about the Nautilus AIO is that you can get different coil heads for it, so that you can do regular liquid, or you can do Nick salts, depending on what you. And since you're quitting, this is one of the few times I would recommend a Nick salt. And then as you transition over, I'd recommend switching off the Nick salts to like a higher milligram nicotine. So let's say you do your Nick salts at like 24 milligrams, and then you're getting to the point where you don't need your cigarettes. Transition over to like a 12 milligram regular liquid, and then transition that down from like 12 to 6 to 3, and then you get to a point like Nick salts are what you're vaping right now. Those Cali bars.
Yep.
Those Cali bars are Nick salts.
The difference.
Fast absorbing form of nicotine, basically.
It's a fast absorbing, but it also leaves your system quicker too.
Yeah.
Whereas
I think all of us here are vaping regular nicotine right now, and you get a slow burn off of it instead.
I have both. I got regular nicotine, and I've got the salt nic in the blue.
Yeah, I don't have any salt nicks in around here.
I generally use the salt nicks when I go out. For one, because the salt-based nicotines will get into your system faster, so it gives you more of that sensation, like when you're smoking. Take a quick couple rips off a butt and flick it before you go in to go do something. You can do the same thing with these salt nic pods. You take a quick couple pulls, and it gives you that same stimulation. But generally, when I'm at home, it's regular nicotine.
Yeah, I don't even have a bottle of salt nic anywhere anymore. I had one at one point, and that was when salt nicks really started fucking becoming the thing.
Oh, was it that fruit cocktail? Fuck, that shit was good.
It was, yeah. That was the one. That was the one we picked up in Detroit.
That stuff was so good.
And it took me. It took me forever to go through that fucking bottle.
Yeah.
Fucking ever. Because that was 2 years ago now, right?
Yeah, that was 2 years ago.
Yeah, I was working up on 2 years since the last Detroit convention. Yeah, that was a fucking long time ago. But it took me
What is
for
a coil? Coil is the heating element in a vape. It's a little metal coil, and it heats the liquid up, and that's what creates the vapor. Like if you stick around long enough, eventually you'll probably get into building your own coils, or buying coils from people. One of the two. And that's like that's when you're getting into more of the hobby side. Like a lot of people just buy pods and little coils to pods and little replaceable coils for their stuff. So
And then you get into this nonsense sometimes. You have
Yeah.
a giant coil in your vape.
Sometimes you've got it. Sometimes you got a 5mm massive coil.
And it explodes when you press the button.
Yep.
If
Speaking
that's
of
your
it,
thing, it doesn't have to be your thing.
no, it does not.
Like,
No.
You can be totally satisfied with something small like this and take little puffs. And if that works for you, great.
You don't need to
happen
have something this big. You
Yeah,
can have
I
something
just
small
happen to, like,
as long as
filling my
it's.
lungs.
The key is you have to find what's satisfying to you.
Yep.
Like the reason why we're pointing towards the all-in-one devices is that's that good medium ground between being a fucking big fuck off device that's gonna really
Like this?
blow. Yeah.
Although this is still pretty small. I really like this, the Evildillo.
Stormtrooper.
It's that nice medium ground to where you'll kind of get a feel of, do I want something more than this, or was I okay with that little pod type device? It'll give you a good meter to tell you which way to go.
I am good, and I will tell you that it could go either way, whatever works for you.
It's a good meter.
Well, that was a lot more information than I was looking for today.
Hey man, different strokes for different folks. I won't judge you out loud.
Hey, I guess well, that's your thing, man. Float your boat, man. Float your boat.
When it comes to vaping, I'm non-discriminate. I literally go everything from triple 18650 unregulated mods to pre-packed pods to fillable pods and everything in between. I've got something for just about any situation, and part of that is because I like a variety of styles, and part of that is because sometimes unexpectedly someone will want to know something about vaping like this situation, and it's nice to be able to literally just hand someone something and ask them their point of view on something like that to try and help figure out what lane they're going to be best fitted to start out with.
Hey,
Yeah, and people that are heavy smokers, like that 50mg nic salt, totally makes sense for them.
Yep.
If you're not a heavy smoker, buy the what do they call it, 2.4 or whatever they call it,
2.4%. Yeah.
2.4. Buy the 2.4%, and you won't get it. You won't get the big nicotine rush, but you will get a satisfying vape out of it.
and that's the key. Jersey, just off question. Before you were dual using, how many packs of cigarettes were you smoking a day, or how many cigarettes in total? Because that can kind of give us a good idea on where to shoot you in the right direction.
That'll affect how you try and transition, what you should be looking into to try and make it a little easier.
Yeah, because I smoked a lot, and when I switched over, I did 24mg regular nicotine for a while.
I did 18 for about 3 days.
I did 24 for months, man. But I came off of smoking 4 packs of cigarettes a day, and I was smoking 4 packs of Camel menthol wides a day while holding down an office job.
1 to 2, depending on how much you have to drive. So something like a 24mg.
Yeah, 24.
Yeah, 24 is more than enough for you, man.
Yep.
And fuck, I wouldn't. You sent me
As much as it pains me to say it, I mean, 2.4 in a joule.
Yeah.
It has helped a lot of people quit.
Yeah.
But like I really like the AIOTA devices because you can refill them. You don't have to be buying pods all the time. You just buy your liquid.
Customizable, yeah.
Yeah.
You can put them on their side, unlike this.
Very true.
And then I mean, if you stick around long enough, you'll find yourself looking into the hobbyist side of things.
One of us.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing like you'll spend, like I spent $70 on that, but I mean, it's going to be around forever and I love it. So.
Yep.
I don't mind spending the equivalent of a carton of cigarettes on a device that's gonna keep me happy for a long time.
Yep.
And that's the key. Is it's for something like that, you got to figure out what's going to work for you. I suggest going that AIO route that he's talking about, the all-in-one, just because that's going to give you that middle ground.
Nice, very nice.
Great sub-home craze of 2015.
I'm fitting to lose my shit.
You already did lose your shit.
I'm finna lose it further. My wallet is MIA.
Can't pull over any further.
Tira took it.
Where the fuck? That's gonna drive.
All right. I just realized what time it is. It is past that time that we normally go to, but we have something going on, so I don't mind. Jersey Bagel, please, by all means, stop in here anytime you need to talk to any of us. You can find most of us on all social media platforms. Like I said, I don't post anything, but if you're on Instagram or anything and you want to shoot me a message because you have questions, feel free. Same name, Golf T Vapes. And then we're here every Wednesday night on my channel from 9:30 to 11 Central Time. And being your name says Jersey, that's 10:30 to midnight your time usually.
I just dropped my Instagram link. You can DM me any question anytime you want. Feel free.
But yeah, by all means, please get a hold of us. By all means, stop back next week here if you got more questions, or anytime, just hit any of us up. We're glad to answer anything you need, and we can help lead you in the right direction. All those guys that are dropping links there, great people to get a hold of. They know what they're talking about. They're going to help you. And most of them, if you're a night owl, those two in particular, both night owls as well as Lumi, so they're up all night if you need them.
Yep.
As long as we're all right, I'll take that. In that case, because it is that time, I'm going to let everybody go around the room, state their piece, and we'll get the geese and get the flock out of here. Who wants to squawk first?
Hi everybody, I'm Fresh03. You can find me at youtube.com/Fresh03. I'm Fresher133 on Instagram, I think. I don't know. It's been a while since I did a whole lot on Instagram.
I tag you every week. It's a 133.
Fresher133 over on Instagram. You can find me mixing bathtub e-liquid. I'll teach you. Even if things go sideways tomorrow and they ban all the flavors, I'll teach you to make your own. Teach you to make your own. I don't care. Welcome. Everybody's welcome. Come hang out. We'll be doing a show Friday night, hanging out, doing some mixing. You know what? Friday is Tooney's last day. Tooney will officially be retired on the Friday show. So we'll have to do something for Tooney.
I'm going to have to make a special exception and come out on Friday. I don't get a chance to do that often.
Nice. So yeah, we'll have the whole crew hanging out for our vape, the mod father himself, the godfather of vaping, Addy Tooney. We'll do some tasty mixing on Friday, hanging out. That's what I got. I'm gonna pass it over to the Al Green of South Chicago himself, the one, the only, Tom Sawyer. Adam Holozer.
Yeah. I just dropped links to my band's page, my Instagram, and my ELR. So if you want to check out my music, if you want to check out photos I take, or recipes of the e-liquid variety that I make, you can check those places out. There's a link to our group that we have. I don't have it handy though. If you want to give me a second. Oh, you got it? All right.
I got it.
I'm just going to drop a link out there. We do this thing on this show where if you join this group on Facebook or send me a message on Instagram or email or whatever, you have a chance to pick 2 top 100 charting songs, up to 2. You can pick 1 if you feel like it, or 2, whatever. And I will take all those songs at the end of the week and put them in a randomizer, and whichever one gets picked, I have to learn it. If I don't know it, I have to perform and record all of the parts and present it on the show in a sometimes timely fashion, sometimes not, dependent on my schedule. But yes, join that group and do it, because we're going to get back to it, and I really want to finish Gizzard's song before I start working on the next song, but I am going to put the voting tonight. So you'll just get to vote long and we'll get some interest and get some more songs. So yeah, do that. And yeah, thanks for having me, TJ. Always a fucking awesome time chilling with you guys. My job schedule sucks, so I'm glad I get to come here on Wednesdays and hang out with you peeps. And yeah, let's pass it to Lumi.
Hi. Sorry I disappeared for like the last hour. I really have no idea where my phone is or where my wallet is. It's gonna drive me insane. So, if you're looking for a wild Lumi, you probably won't find her on Twitch tonight unless I find my wallet. But normally, you can find me playing video games on Twitch, raging and more raging and saying absurd things. You can find me on Discord, Instagram, or Facebook if you need somebody to talk to, you need help with braided wires, DIY, a resin stand. You just need somebody to talk to. I'm here for everybody just like you're here for us. I appreciate you guys so much for coming out every week. Thanks for having me, TJ. To the pissy desk.
So, first and foremost, thank you everybody for coming out. Everybody in the chat, everybody on the panel, thank you guys. I appreciate it. That's why I do this. Not only is it fun for me, but I love hanging out with you guys. And this one specifically, I generally don't tailor to people like this, but Jersey, I want you to please come back, talk with us again. We're glad to have you here. We're glad to help you in any way, shape, or form that you need us. Call, shoot us messages. If you need to, and you need to come back to this video later and just write something in the comments, I will get back to you. I do get all the notifications for the comments here. So by all means, please get a hold of us if you need us for anything. If you have questions going forward. You know. And yes, she is the non-bearded variety around here. There we go.
Oh, she's got a beard. You just can't see it on camera.
It'll get us kicked off of YouTube if we see that on camera.
Yep.
She's a casual beard enthusiast.
But for those of you who are our regulars here, like I said at the beginning of the show today, it's everybody's responsibility to go and advocate and educate to everyone, whether it's us educating the general public who thinks there's something wrong with vaping, or whether we're advocating against bad legislations that's coming out trying to kill this for those smokers that have not made the decision to switch or have not had this opportunity to use this as a device to switch from the stinkies. Please go out and educate and advocate. It's only going to be good for us in the end, and not so much for us. We've already made the switch. We know what we're doing. We want to save more lives. That's the key. Remember, when you're educating and advocating, you're saving lives. Might not be right now, but it will happen as long as you continue to do so and fight everything there. Yeah, I don't have a whole hell of a lot else to say. So I'm going to send it over, as always, to the one, the only, the Meter Vapes.
So, first and foremost, thank you, TJ, for having a show every Wednesday night where quitters like myself and my fellow quitters here can come to get our brains back to some semblance of normalcy. Thank you to everyone who is watching this, whether you're here with us live or you're watching this on a replay. Thank you for tuning in. You guys are the reason we get to keep doing this every week. So, if you have a little time tomorrow evening and you're a fan of punchy, kicky nonsense or just shit talking in general, here are the links that you can find most of the panel here on the I'm No Joe podcast, the home of all the shit talking shenaniganry, punchy, kicky galore. Get your fill of combat sports while we get a little time to help entertain you guys with the ridiculousness that we do. I would appreciate anybody who is interested, take a look at any one of those links. We will be around tomorrow evening, most Thursday nights, for the I'm No Joe podcast, giving you our thoughts on the shit-talking show that will be going down this weekend of the UFC. Sundays is the counterpart to that. If you do enjoy the Thursday night show where I go back over, recap what actually happened versus what we thought was going to happen, where I kind of hold our feet to the fire, if you will, for our shit-talking shenaniganry. But that's a whole different thing. The reason that we are here is because this beautiful life-saving technology has helped everyone watching this in some way better their lives. Whether it helped you to quit smoking, whether it helped someone you love to quit smoking, whether you just learned the difference and the actual benefits and you're going out and telling other people about it. Vaping is a literal life-saving technology, and the only way that it will continue to be around to save lives is if every person who has benefited from it in every situation, no matter the impact, big or small, takes that time that they have been given from this life-saving technology and give just a portion of that back to help keep it around. I've said it a million times, and I will keep saying it a million more times. You don't have to do everything, but you do have to do something. This saved your life. It's your job to help make sure it can save others. We don't have a choice anymore. If we don't band together, we will be banned together.
Now I feel like a real asshole because I meant to mention I'm no Joe tomorrow. Fuck! I knew I fucked something. All right. And we fucked it. That's how the show's supposed to go. Shit's supposed to go off the rails. Anyhow, for those of you who missed it at the beginning, I am going to play it again. You're going to get another round of the sweet, sweet pipes of the Algrina, South Chicago, doing another wonderful cover for us. Brand new song this week. Enjoy it on the way out. We'll see you guys all next week, Wednesday, and some of you tomorrow on I'm No Joe on the kicky punchiness that is MMA and boxing and everything else that goes with it. Love you guys. See y'all next week. Enjoy these sweet tunes.
Mr. Bane.
A modern day warrior, mean stride. Today's Tom Sawyer, mean pride. Though his mind is not for rent, don't put him down as arrogant. His reserve a quiet defense, riding out the day's events. The river. What you say about his company is what you say about society. Catch the mist, catch the myth, catch the mystery, catch the drift. The world is love and life are deep. Maybe as the skies are wide. Today's Tom Sawyer, he gets high on you. When the space he invades, he gets by on you.